I pretended to be a blind masseur, into a door-to-door massage group. The first single let me come across a big beautiful woman. I had a great feast for the eyes. I did not expect to follow the next SB single. The female customer is actually my mother's best friend, more so that I did not think of it, she even took the initiative. Brothers, see the photos I sent without. Looking at the message in our WeChat group, I immediately clicked on the picture. A slightly chubby young woman appeared in the screen. This young woman is draped in a massage square scarf, although it covers the key parts of the body, but the white skin, rhyming demeanor is simply a seductive siren. Dude, take it. Another groupie asked. You do not know, this woman is really a superb, make me now also back paint it, go also said the day after tomorrow but also about my home massage. It's really cool to meet this kind of extreme product inside a small program. My eyes stared at the picture on the screen, and I couldn't help but fantasize in my heart, if I could give this beautiful young woman a massage it would be too good. Ding! Followed by another WeChat popped up. It was from my massage department classmate in the Chinese hospital, Ada. Dude, I didn't lie to you, right? This group is our gospel. You pay attention to the small program, you can take orders in it. Just now Ada sent me a blind massage group invitation. Originally I was puzzled we are not blind into this group for what. He told me to come in to know. Followed by curiosity, I entered the group chat. I did not expect to come in to see the explosive chat records. In the DAW's introduction I also know what this group is doing. Said to be blind massage, but inside a blind are not, everyone is a normal masseur. One thing is that when we hear the blind masseurs feel more professional and better to get a single, and two, some female customers know that the blind, relax the guard, we are a little bit of observation, as long as you look at the female customers to the bit, you can take advantage of the cheap. This good thing, my heart naturally itchy, hesitated for a moment or click on the small program, in which a simple input of personal information, the rest is waiting for customers to make an appointment. In the evening I got off work just after dinner, I saw the WeChat small program popped up a message. Hello, you have a new order, please check in time. I hurriedly clicked on it, and I saw that it was an order with a tail number of 3240, pedicure plus massage, and coincidentally, the customer of this order happened to be in our neighborhood. With trepidation, I took the toolbox and headed to building 12. In order to be true, afraid of people find what end, I also specifically put on sunglasses and crutches. After arriving at the downstairs I gave the customer a phone call, soon the phone is connected, from the voice there I can also hear should be a beautiful woman. Minute later, a woman walked out. When I saw the woman in front of me, my heart almost blossomed with joy. The woman has a trademark look, fair skin, looks to be in her mid-20s, just the age of a budding woman. She was wearing a black one-piece pajamas, although the pajamas loose but still cannot hide her bumpy figure, especially this pajamas in the chest and the waist is a black material, the kind of hazy if hidden feeling, hooked people desperately want to peep inside the secret. Such a young girl also want to find someone door-to-door pedicure, it seems that tonight seems to have the blessing of the eyes. Kong. Master Kong right. The woman was still a little nervous when she spoke, and also alertly look around, should also be the first time. I nodded. Ma'am, you lead the way. The woman picked up the other side of her cane and I followed her up the stairs. Following in her direction, I entered her living room, and after she helped me put the water in the wooden basin, I pretended to fumble with it and put it in front of the couch. Ma'am, I'm ready here. Knowing that I was blind, the woman didn't shy away from directly lifting up the skirt underneath her black pajama top, revealing those beautiful legs. Looking at the woman's white skin, I couldn't control my gulping. She looked up at me and did not say anything more, lying straight on the sofa, took out her cell phone and read it, only 3 words popped out of her mouth. I'm ready, here goes. Following that she stretched her beautiful legs out. My hand gently stroked over the top of her jade foot and pressed it with my thumb. Being pressed by me like that, her jade legs couldn't help but shrink a bit. Seeing this, I hurriedly asked. Is the force not appropriate? Just right, go on. I found that this time she put her cell phone on a side cabinet and closed her eyes. It looked like her own technique was quite well received, and to be honest, a man would react when faced with this kind of extremely beautiful thing, and I was naturally no exception. Seeing her this kind of reaction, my hand began to slowly grope up towards the top, and soon reached her calves. It's really too much. Feeling the sheep's fat jade-like smooth skin, my heartbeat couldn't help but speed up. Following that, my hands quickly massaged their way to her thighs and began to relax her thigh muscles. Hoo! Listening to her voice, just as I increased my strength, her voice mixed with pleading came out. Gently, don't. Just a little harder. Okay. That's it. As she relaxed the muscles in her buttocks and also the muscles in her back, she kept directing me nonstop. Perhaps feeling confronted by me, an invisible blind man, she completely relaxed her inner guard. It was a full half hour before I stopped. It wasn't until I stopped for a good while that she opened her eyes, the blush on her face not yet dissipated. I pretended to be calm and said, "Ma'am, the massage is over." "Well, you pressed so comfortably, leave a micro-signal, I'll look for you next time." When she spoke, she was looking at me, all the charming, looking at this kind of eyes. I really regret a little, if I just really do something, she may not see resistance. Things have come to this point, I can only be strong and calm, afraid of missing the trap. Okay, ma'am, then I'll leave first. It wasn't until I went downstairs that I let out a long breath of relief, and more than anything else, I was still excited internally. Don't say that this kind of pretending to be blind is really exciting, being able to see a lot of things that you normally can't see. I clicked on the group, which also kept sharing their own massage objects. See, I can't wait to take the next order of business. Just did not expect, the back of the 4 orders are to men massage. The 4th single is even more strange, is a dead pervert. I give him a massage when also kept touching me, the I disgusted bad. When I went to bed at night, Ada called. Dude, I saw on the system again that you took several orders, how is it, exciting, right? Haha, this guy finally did some personnel, but also the first single is a woman, point or foot massage, but also over the eye addiction. Behind the horse is a man. I was afraid that he laughed, and did not have the heart to say the 4th single encounter. Hey, you really do not fight, I have a good single here, let you go to cool it. Following that he pushed a single to me. Tomorrow night a female client spa list, I let you have it, this is your problem if you can't get it again. Gotta, man thanks. Said light-heartedly, but my heart has long been unable to rest. After chatting, I impatiently clicked on the list that Ada sent me. Tail number 2580 customers list, SBA, order for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. SBA, think of the excitement, the next day the whole day I was distracted, wait until 6:30 p.m., I drove out the door, took the props, and walked to the Lishui New Garden under the 5th building. Still the same old routine, after the phone call, almost 5 minutes, a woman wearing a long beige dress came downstairs. This woman looked old, but the years hadn't left many traces on her face. Her figure was on par with the young girl from before, especially the mature flavor on her body, it was a stark contrast to the girl from before. Yujin? It's really a superb special thing. This heart of mine had been itching for a long time. She sized me up and walked over. Master Kong, right? Hearing this somewhat familiar voice of the woman, I was slightly stunned, and when I looked at her carefully, my entire body froze. Because the woman in front of me was my mom's best friend, Aunt Lou. Said Aunt Lou, in fact, older than me on 3 or 4 years old, the two of them are at work when they met, the relationship is good and to sisterhood, so I called her Aunt Lou. Last year when they get together I met with her once, sees her, my heart thumped. If she recognizes me, it will be completely exposed, and then if this is told to my mother, it will be completely finished. But my heart also vaguely some expectations, I did not expect that Aunt Lou is also the kind of woman who cannot restrain her temperament. When I first met her, I was mesmerized by her, otherwise my impression of her would not be so deep. I deliberately clamped my voice. Well, it's me, Ms. Lou, right? It's me. After confirming that I was the masseuse who came to the door, she then said, Go, I'll take you upstairs. After following her upstairs, I entered the bedroom under her guidance. The decoration of this Aunt Lou's house is really interesting, the bed in the master bedroom is actually a big round bed. In order to be afraid that the light is too strong for her to recognize who I am, I specifically pulled the curtains closed, and then turned on the bedside lamp. followed by spreading the disposable bed sheet after that, and then took out the essential oil and the square towel for massage from the bag. "Miss Lou, I'm ready here." Perhaps thinking that I couldn't even see it, she directly took off her clothes in front of me, revealing the white and tender skin that didn't have an ounce of flab. All the words I could think of to describe her were not too much. She plopped right down on the bed, gave me a look, and said, "Let's begin." It felt completely different from yesterday's kind of feeling through the clothes. The slender big white legs, the round and curvy buttocks, the thin waist, formed a perfect curve. Looking at the scene in front of me, I felt my throat go a little dry, and hurriedly picked up the blanket next to me and draped it over her below her hips. After applying essential oil on her back, I gently put my hands on it. I didn't expect that just after a few presses, Lou Joy let out a small cry. Seeing that she didn't say anything, I continued to press up, and in a few moments of effort, Lou Joy was already dripping with sweat, and her whole body was already a bit soaked. Following that, my hand wandered to her thin waist. To be honest, it's just an ordinary massage. I don't know what's wrong with Lou Joy. It seems like she's forcibly holding back a bit of uncomfortable feeling. "Ma'am, what's wrong with you? Is it that my massage is uncomfortable?" "No. Not." "You continue." As soon as she answered my question, I heard her breathing become more and more rapid. Watching her reaction, listening to her that rapid breathing, I feel my head buzzing a blank. Hand control cannot lift the blanket massage up. Her body instantly became stiff, followed by the whole body, and instantly became incomparably soft. Followed by the whole person instantly turned over. The pair of beautiful eyes looked straight at me. Her delicate face has been completely red, her hands are unable to stop rubbing on their own white skin. But for fear of her noticing something, I tried to control my reaction and continued massaging. Without waiting for me to react, she wrapped her arms around my neck. I'm a young man in his 20s, where can I stand this kind of thing? Feeling the endless tenderness, I could no longer control it. "Little handsome, you're awesome, next time my sister will still look for you." When I left, I gave me a few more cash. I deliberately pretended to touch the bed for a while before I touched it. After going downstairs, I couldn't help but laugh. My own acting skills, if I don't score full marks, are sorry for myself. But don't say this Aunt Lou is really flavorful. Before that young girl and her compared to, the difference is not a half a star. I even fantasize that after this time, later directly with her showdown, then she is not at their mercy. With this idea, I lie in bed at night, is tossing and turning, the mind constantly recalls the previous and Aunt Lou's passion. More than 2 o'clock in the morning, I simply sat up, the heart thought about this. Simply take the mouth to threaten, certainly not, their hands must be held inside the real material to do. Think of this, I went to the electronic city to buy an electronic sunglasses. Although it still looks like sunglasses, but more than the function of the video, by then they can use the sunglasses to record everything that happens, as long as these, not afraid of Auntie Lou does not listen. Just when I finished preparing some of this, the phone WeChat suddenly more than a friend application. I look at it as Aunt Lou sent. After passing, Aunt Lou directly sent a message. "Master Tang, are you free tomorrow night?" "Yes." I didn't even think about it and replied to her directly. I was just thinking about when she could make an appointment for herself, so that I could get some real food then, but I didn't expect her to make an appointment for me. "Okay, then come straight over after 7. Followed by a transfer, as much money as was given on the platform. After receiving the transfer record, I purposely debugged this camera sunglasses, and after confirming that there was no problem at all with the memory card being imported inside the computer, I rested well and waited for the time to come. I didn't expect the next morning, Ada gave me a call. "Dude, how was last night?" "Exciting enough indeed." I replied. "Hey, tell you what, there's even more exciting. I got a bottle of medicine that's guaranteed to enhance your fighting strength." Hearing this, I instantly became interested. Threats alone, it is not likely to have to spend more words. If you can get on with this combat power, completely conquered her, it is not likely that this matter will come to fruition. Well, still nonsense. What? Hurry to send me over. After getting the medicine, I loaded 2 into my pocket and rushed over to Aunt Lou's house at 6:30 p.m. Standing at Lou Joy's downstairs, it was more than 7 o'clock and she hadn't come downstairs yet. I took out my cell phone and called her, but it rang for a long time and no one answered. Huh. This makes me a little strange. Could it be that she has something temporary? But such a good opportunity, I do not want to miss it. Her home in the second floor. I quietly walked to the second floor. I heard the sound of someone talking in the house. I knocked on the door. Miss Lu, I'm here, are you home? As I knocked on the door, the sound of someone talking inside came to an abrupt end. It couldn't be that Lu Jiao's husband had come back, right? Thinking of this, I planned to turn around and go downstairs. Just as I was halfway there, the door to the room opened. Master Kong, you're here. Ah, sorry, I was in the shower just now and didn't hear the sound. Saying that, she quickly stepped forward and assisted me with a hand. I went upstairs with her. Without the shyness of last time, this time Lu Jiao directly took my hand and pulled me into the room. When I entered the room I said that I wanted to go to the bathroom, but in fact it was to find an opportunity to take the medicine. She then took me to the door of the bathroom. I deliberately fumbled to the toilet heel, first to facilitate a bit, followed by waiting for the opportunity to use water to take the medicine. Just when I was planning to go out to serve Lu Jiao properly, I suddenly heard a whimpering sound. I was puzzled and followed the sound to look over. My heart thumped at this look. In front of me was a naked man tied up inside the bathtub, and when he saw me, he kept struggling, his mouth was taped, and he let out a whimpering sound. I recognized that this man was the man in the bedroom wedding photo, Lu Jiao's husband. I quietly walked over. Beside her there was a naked woman. I looked through the afterglow outside the sunglasses. The whole inside of the bathtub was filled with red blood. There was also blood flowing out from the woman's body. It looked like it was no longer working. The man's eyes, as if he had seen a life preserver, was begging me to save him. This. No wonder just now I heard a movement in the house. Lu Jiao came to open the door with such a long time. Feelings are doing this kind of thing. My heart as 10,000 head of grass horse galloped past. Really a knife on the head of the color word. No one answered the phone at that moment. They directly go is, why also go upstairs, now can be finished. My nerves were tense. I was wondering what was going on, when I suddenly felt a burst of cool air coming from my back. Master Kong, what's wrong with you? I stiffened and turned back, looking at Lu Jiao's heart beating wildly. Because she was holding a knife right in her hand, I immediately recalled that when I came in just now, she used the key to unlock the door. Originally I thought it was because I was afraid that her husband would suddenly come back, but now that I think about it, it wasn't that simple. I found out her secret. If it leaks out now, I'm afraid there's no way to walk out alive today. I forced myself to hold back the fear within me. Miss Lu, I heard a strange sound here. Lu Jiao smiled and said, Oh, I have a dog, it's playing inside the bathtub, let's quickly start the massage. Huh? She took me to the bedroom and followed and went out first. I did the same old 3 things, laid out the disposable sheets and took out the essential oils. To be honest, up until now my hands couldn't stop shivering. What the hell happened? What should I do? Here is the 10th floor, jumping from the window is unlikely. I can only get the key from her body to run out, or find the right opportunity to subdue her. When my head was racing, Lu Jiao came in, only she was still pulling her husband. Followed by putting him on the chair and tying him up. This scene really stunned me, and I directly gave up on the idea of subduing her. His husband is much stronger than me, but at this moment in front of Lu Jiao, he is like a chicken. Even if he doesn't struggle, I don't have that much strength to pull him over so easily. Ms. Lu. Before I could finish my words, she took my hand. It's okay, I'm afraid the dog won't listen, so I'll tie him to the chair first. With that she pulled me onto the bed. Master Kong, let's get started, I can't wait. I massaged on her white skin, but there was no longer the feeling of enjoyment that I had before. Her husband was right in front of her eyes watching us, and there was a woman inside the bathroom who didn't know what to do with her life, and when I massaged, these hands couldn't help but tremble a little. Perhaps feeling my abnormal, Lu Jiao turned over at once, the pair of beautiful eyes staring at me. I felt my scalp tingling, and the cold sweat on my back couldn't be controlled. Because she was looking at me with a hint of skepticism evident in her eyes, and one hand smoothly removed my sunglasses. Ms. Lu, you. What are you doing? Although I forced myself to be calm, but my heart had already panicked into a batch. She used her sunglasses to shake in front of my eyes, and in her other hand, she took out another dagger from somewhere. As soon as I was exposed, maybe this dagger would have to stab into my chest. I don't want to die here yet. Master Tang, I see you look familiar. Have we met somewhere before? Before I worked at the blind massage parlor on Shunlu Road. Miss Lu, are you my customer? I was afraid that she would remember who she was and quickly replied. I remembered that my mom said that Lu Jioi opened a gym there on Shunli Road, and when I passed by before I purposely took a look at it, and there was a blind massage parlor not far away, so I just made up some nonsense. This may be able to fool the past. She seems to have seen me this thing. But this did have an effect. After I finished speaking, the wary expression on her face obviously eased a bit, but the hand clutching the dagger was still tight. Oh, so that's what happened. Then what are you nervous about? It can't be that you've discovered something, right? As soon as she said that, I sucked in a breath of cold air, my heart in my throat. I knew that it must have been my own nervousness during the massage just now, and it was a far cry from yesterday's technique. In this situation now, even if I were allowed to have a normal massage, I wouldn't be able to do it all. I took a deep breath and tried my best to calm myself down and continue to give her an oil push. But the more I did this, the more tense I became. I felt the muscles in my arms trembling a little, and my heartbeat accelerated. If this continued, she would definitely find out something, and then I would be finished. Master Tang. These 3 words were like a life-prompting charm at this moment. Just as I was planning to fight to the death, her hand suddenly touched below my waist. Following that, she laughed out shyly. He, Master Tang, it seems like I overthought and misunderstood you. Huh. I froze. Her sudden reaction made me a little confused as well. Master Tang, come, you lie on the bed. She pulled my hand, and I immediately stiffened on the bed, not reacting to what was going on until now. This woman couldn't be knowing that she was pretending to be blind and changing methods to try to fix me. I stayed on guard, intending to fight her when she did. Usually you serve others, today I'll serve you well. With that she stripped my clothes off, took out essential oils from the side and applied them to her own body and massaged me. I looked down. It turned out that I had a reaction. It must be that the medicine that Ada's kid gave himself had worked, otherwise it would be impossible for him to have no reaction at all. But I instantly understood. It was because I had a reaction that I saved my own life, letting Lu Jioi drop her guard. If a normal person could see all this, even if they were looking at the goddess, they couldn't possibly have a reaction. My heart breathed a long sigh of relief, feeling the coolness of the essential oils as well as the fiery heat of Lu Jioi's body. It's simply a case of ice and fire, just like my mood at this moment. Sister Lu, yes, I'm sorry, I was just nervous. Is my mind thinking about yesterday and you that did not control it? Brother, there is a reaction is only normal. It is not, all right, nervous not afraid, sister properly give you relaxation. Lu Jioi's next reaction simply made me feel that she is simply a pervert. She gave me a massage, her eyes looked at her husband from time to time, and finally after she had a feeling she fell on my body. I forced myself to calm myself to match her. Brother, why don't go back tonight, just stay here with your sister. As I dressed, I said, sis, I have guests over there, I have to rush over. Well, you go quickly. After leaving the door, I desperately ran out of the neighborhood, followed by the police. The police soon came to the door and caught Lu Jioi, but when they went over it was already too late. Her husband had already been tortured to death by her, while the woman had long since lost her life. I cooperated with the police investigation, their own glasses also handed over. At the same time I also truthfully said what I want to do, because of meritorious performance of the police and did not hold me responsible for the responsibility of clandestine filming. The police also told me to go and when Lu Jioi has been the woman's body to deal with clean flushed into the toilet, time if it is late, she dealt with the scene later, the investigation and evidence collection will be very difficult. And I'm actually an exception. After hearing my voice, she was planning to use the fact that I'm blind and can't see anything as proof that she had a massage at home, and then take herself out of the case. Comrade policeman, I'm sorry, I was really scared at that time. If I could have run out and called the police, her husband might not have died. Young man, if you did that, I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to get out. This Lugioi runs a gym and is a black belt in judo herself. I am not her match at all. It seems that my choice at that time was the most correct. Comrade police, why did she kill someone? Although I understood why she let herself in when she killed, but why she killed I was still unclear. The comrade policeman didn't hide it from me. From what the murderer herself explained just now, it should be that she found out that her husband was cheating on her and that she caught him at home. She gave her husband a chance, but he was still bent on having his own way. After that, she planned to talk to her husband and talk this through, but she didn't expect her husband to bring a mistress to the door and to divorce her, which completely enraged her. She, in order to revenge her husband, only in the small program inside the order of the door-to-door massage, and you have a relationship to let her produce the pleasure of revenge. Today's words, just as you came to the door, it is in order to let their own husbands to watch their own derailment, only to let him watch the two of you with his own eyes. I really didn't expect it to be like this. The woman is really ruthless. If it wasn't for my own life and good luck, I wouldn't have been able to escape this. Out of the police station, I took out my cell phone and directly deleted the blind massage group. Today, if it is not Ada gave me the medicine, I am afraid that at this moment I have to follow Lugioi's husband to go to that world. I don't want to do this kind of thing anymore. It looks like a beautiful temptation, but maybe behind this beauty is a huge conspiracy, and may even lose my life.